India is facing an intensifying climate emergency that is reshaping its future. A new comprehensive report highlights that an alarming 75% of the country's districts have now been classified as climate hotspots. These regions are experiencing a dangerous rise in extreme weather events, including floods, droughts, cyclones, and record-breaking heat waves. The situation is particularly severe in coastal areas, where almost 95% of districts are at risk of multiple overlapping disasters. Experts point out that many areas traditionally prone to flooding are now suffering droughts instead, and regions once considered safe are becoming increasingly vulnerable to environmental hazards. The evidence is striking. Data shows that the number of flood events has increased eightfold over the last 50 years. Simultaneously, the frequency and intensity of heat waves have grown dramatically, with some regions reporting a 15-fold increase in the number of extremely hot days. These climatic shifts are putting immense pressure on India's agriculture, water resources, and urban infrastructure. Millions of farmers are grappling with crop failures, while urban centers are struggling to adapt to frequent floods and water shortages. Scientists warn that if immediate mitigation and adaptation measures are not adopted, India could face devastating socio-economic consequences. It is estimated that by 2036, nearly 1.5 billion Indians will be highly vulnerable to the impacts of climate change. Already, in 2022, India suffered an economic loss equivalent to 8% of its GDP due to extreme weather, highlighting the urgent need for resilient policies and infrastructure. Institutions and experts are advocating for the establishment of a national climate risk observatory and an infrastructure climate fund that would prioritize funding for climate-resilient construction and local adaptation strategies. While India grapples with the unfolding climate crisis, another urgent global conversation is gaining momentum: the future governance of artificial intelligence. As AI technology advances rapidly, global think tanks, technology leaders, and policymakers are intensifying efforts to establish comprehensive governance frameworks to oversee its development and usage. Growing concerns about the unchecked expansion of AI systems have prompted calls for international regulations that ensure ethical practices, protect human rights, and prevent the concentration of technological power among a few corporations or nations. Recent debates have likened the current high race to the nuclear arms race of the 20th century. Experts warn that without a coordinated global approach, AI could deepen global inequalities, undermine democracy, and pose existential risks to humanity. Institutions such as the Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence (GAIPI) and the United Nations have taken significant steps towards creating guidelines for responsible AI use. Meanwhile, academic centers and think tanks, such as the TUM think tank in Germany and the Global Center on AI Governance in Africa, are working to ensure that underrepresented voices, including those from developing nations, are included in shaping AI policy. Leading experts argue for a rights-based governance model that places ethical considerations at the center of AI development. Advocates stress the importance of involving affected communities, not just developers and corporations, in decision-making processes. Scholars from prestigious institutions like Cambridge and Stanford University are calling for democratic oversight to prevent the dominance of a few powerful tech companies and ensure that AI technologies are aligned with societal values rather than corporate profit motives. At this critical juncture, the world is confronting two complex and far-reaching challenges simultaneously: a worsening climate emergency and the rapid evolution of artificial intelligence. For India, which stands at the forefront of climate vulnerability and digital innovation, the stakes could not be higher. Building resilience to climate impacts and ensuring responsible high governance are not separate issues but interconnected priorities. As governments, businesses, and communities navigate this uncertain future, the need for bold leadership, inclusive policymaking, and international cooperation has never been more urgent. Red Pepper News will continue to follow these developments closely. Stay with us for ongoing coverage of India's climate crisis and the global movement for responsible AI governance.